major Naxal operation has unfolded in Chhattisgarh's Bijapur district, where security forces engaged in a fierce encounter with Naxalites. So far, 31 Naxals have been killed and their bodies have been recovered from the site. During the operation, security forces seized a huge cache of weapons and explosive, including AK-47, SLRs, INSAS rifle, .303 rifles and BGL launchers. However, the encounter also claimed the life of 2 brave jawans, while 2 others sustained injuries. Fortunately, both injured personnel are out of danger and receiving treatment at a higher medical facility. Additional reinforcements have been deployed in the area and a search operation is still underway. Officials say the identification process for the slain Naxals is ongoing and more details will be shared once the operation concludes.
जिला बीजापुर के नेशनल पार्क इलाका में प्रतिबंधित एवं गैरकानूनी सीपी माओवादी संगठन की नेशनल पार्क एरिया कमेटी तथा तेलंगाना स्टेट कमेटी के माओवादी कैडर्स की उपस्थिति का सूचना के आधार पर बीजापुर डीआरजी बस्तर फाइटर एसटीएफ की संयुक्त बल अभियान के लिए रवाना किए गए थे। अभियान के दौरान आज दिनांक 9 फरवरी को प्रातः 8 बजे से अनेक बार माओवादी एवं सुरक्षा बल के बीच में मुठभेड़ हुई। मुठभेड़ के पश्चात इलाके के सर्चिंग में अब तक कुल 31 माओवादियों का डेड बॉडी रिकवर की गए थे। सभी माओवादियों का शनाख्ती की कार्रवाई की जा रही है। इस मुठभेड़ में हमारा 2 जवान घायल हुआ। दोनों घायल जवान का इवैक्यूएशन इंडियन एयरफोर्स के हेलीकॉप्टर के माध्यम से रायपुर में की गई। उन दोनों जवान की स्थिति अभी खतरे से बाहर, यह इलाज जारी है। और इस मुठभेड़ में हमारा एक डीआरजी का जवान, एक एसटीएफ का जवान का शहादत होगी। दोनों शहीद जवानों का पार्थिव शरीर को जिला मुख्यालय तक लेने के लिए व्यवस्था की जा रही है। अभी आसपास इलाका में सर्चिंग अभियान रीइंफोर्समेंट टीम्स के माध्यम से की जा रही है। सर्चिंग के उपरांत हम और विस्तार से जानकारी देने की स्थिति में रहेगा। और इस मुठभेड़ में कुल 31 बॉडी रिकवर करने के साथ साथ वर्ष 2025 में अब तक टोटल 65 डेड बॉडीज माओवादियों का रिकवर किए गए थे अलग अलग मुठभेड़ के पश्चात।
लगातार आप सब लोगों को मालूम है, पूरा देश जानता है कि हम लोग जब से सरकार में आए हैं तब से नक्सलवाद के साथ मजबूती के साथ लड़ाई लड़ रहे हैं और उसकी पूरे देश में तारीफ भी हो रही है। और हमारे जवानों के साहस को हम सलाम करते हैं। बहुत बहादुरी के साथ नक्सलवाद के साथ लड़ रहे हैं। और हमारे देश के यशस्वी प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी और देश के गृह मंत्री आदरणीय अमित शाह जी, उनका संकल्प है कि 31 मार्च 2026 तक इस देश से नक्सलवाद को समाप्त करना है। और आज ज़्यादा मात्रा में छत्तीसगढ़ में ही नक्सलवाद है, लेकिन मुझे पूरा विश्वास है कि जिस बहादुरी के साथ हमारे जवान लड़ रहे हैं, निश्चित रूप से हमारे माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी, माननीय गृह मंत्री जी का संकल्प पूरा होगा।
हमारे बीजापुर के नेशनल पार्क वाले एरिया में 650 से अधिक जवानों ने अनेक कैंपों से ऑपरेशन लॉन्च किया, अनेक दिनों का अभियान किया। और उसके बाद आज 31 नक्सलियों के मारे जाने की सूचना है। ये सभी वर्दीधारी थे और AK-47, INSAS, BGL लॉन्चर्स, ऐसे सारी चीज़ें, ऑटोमेटेड बड़े सारे हथियार उनसे बरामद किए गए। इस पूरे ऑपरेशन में हमारे 2 जवानों के शहीद होने की सूचना है। साथ ही साथ 2 जवान घायल हुए हैं जिनको एयरलिफ्ट किया गया है। जनवरी और फरवरी माह को मिलाकर देखें तो ये सबसे बड़ा ऑपरेशन अभी है। और ये उस स्थान पर है जो आरामगाह कहा जाता था नक्सलियों का, ये उस स्थान पर हुआ ऑपरेशन है।
Well, on the broadcast, I have with me Lieutenant General Sanjay Kulkarni. Sir, thank you so much for speaking to us at News9. So, first of all, your reaction to this massive operation. In fact, this year only 65 Naxals have been killed in different operations. And in fact, the government has also lamented that by 2026, Naxalism will be eradicated from Chhattisgarh.
Thank you, Yash. I think it's a huge success. And as you rightly said, this year itself, over 60 plus of the Naxals have died. And it's been a huge success again from the point of view, the government has been wanting to eradicate this menace by about 2026 and has succeeded to a very large extent, because still for some time back in over 126 districts in about, I think 10 states affected, and which has drastically come down to just about 38 districts in about 9 states being affected. And therefore the statement by the government that hopefully by 2026, and the way our security forces are going about, because this is the same area, the area of Bijapur, this is erstwhile Dantewada, and that Dantewada area, the area which is of the other areas in and around that particular Sukma. These are the places where Naxalites have been in operation for a long time. The one that was there early this year, where we lost our men in some time back, was primarily because the IEDs were there, which had been planted over a month back. And the kind of, the anti-Naxal operations undertaken by the security forces is excellent, very, very commendable, because it's not so easy, because the Naxals also start their operations now at this point of time. That is why they've gathered in that particular area. It is because before the monsoons set in, they also start their operations. And it is in that the kind of intelligence which has been coming to the security forces, which is a very good thing, because there's a tremendous amount of money which is released called the security related this thing for the all security related projects and everything that is given to the state. And if that money is used properly, you will find such kind of results coming in. And what a lovely this thing, because the kind of weapons that have been recovered, the IEDs and the explosives that have been recovered is indicative that the security forces are constantly at it, because the pressurizing is very, very important, because it's the erstwhile Adil Shah, that what they call it, Gumbaz area in Bijapur, and therefore it has been a very, very long time that these kind of incidents do take place. But I hope with the kind of developmental projects that the government is undertaking, winning the hearts and minds of the Naxals who are staying there in the villages and into the forested area. So much of developmental work undertaken, roads coming up over there, schools opened up over there, the opportunities being given for the employment over there. Hopefully, they themselves must now come over ground and surrender, rather than getting involved into this kind of anti-Naxal operations in which they are not bound to succeed at all, because the security forces now have all the inputs, and the inputs are also coming to them at regular intervals. And I must compliment for having undertaken this. Of course, it's a very sad thing that we lost 2 of our men over there and 2 injured, but the injured ones are hopefully will recover soon. But then these are the costs that one has to pay to ensure and make make ensuring it that by 2026 positively will become a Naxal-free area. Otherwise, for years on, you will be surprised the kind of number of districts that were earlier in this Naxal movement, which has drastically, as I said, has come down to just about 38 districts. Yeah.
Lieutenant General, also let me ask you about specifically about Bijapur. You spoke about it erstwhile Dantewada. In the first encounter, 5 Naxals were killed. In second, 12 were killed. In third, 8 were killed. And now we are learning of the 31 being killed. So how tough this territory is for the security forces, and perhaps eradicating Naxalism from this very area, how important is that for our security forces?
See, the left-wing extremism is based on an ideology which probably, to me, I find it is being exploitative, because there's nothing that the government is not doing for them. But then again, being a democracy that we are, CPIM and all these kind of parties which intend to give this ideology which is totally leftist and anti-government. And however much and hard that you might do, they will keep doing all these kind of things, because they're trying to make themselves be seen as the underdogs, and that they are not being taken care of by the state, and they must destroy the state, which has no meaning whatsoever. And it is in this context, and of course, the deeply forested area, it's not easy, Yash, to move in these forested areas. Extremely difficult. Let me tell you, the security forces, when the monsoon setting that I'm talking about, you can't see anything. And then, when you can't see, you can't move around, you don't have the ability of drones to be able to give you information, helicopters can't move around, it's actually on foot and on the information that is available to you. So it's hats off to the CRPF, hats off to the other local units which are there, which are helping them, whether it is the Bastar region police force or the other police force which are there to help them out. It's very difficult, extremely difficult, very thickly forested. And this is the reason why these Naxals take full advantage of it, because nobody knows from where, who's coming. And they've been in hiding. The terrain knowledge is tremendously, obviously the terrain knowledge will be too much for these locals. They would know everything about it. All others are troops which are being posted there. Though the local now people are there who are part of the operation, but despite all that, they themselves have to keep their own lives at danger when they are assisting and helping and giving information. very difficult terrain, very difficult to get intelligence input. And despite all these compulsions, to be able to do that, because you're constantly winning hearts and minds of these people, you're constantly all the security-related expenditure being used fruitfully for them, education being taken care of, ensuring that they get their food, ensuring employment is being given, ensuring the roads are clear. Not easy at all. Not easy at all. And the roads that are passing through, going to Warangal, they're going up to Hyderabad, all these roads that are leading are all passing through this area. So maintaining and ensuring that the roads are kept clear for the communication. So there's a lot. And compliments to the security forces, putting their entire life at stake, be able to knock off so many people is not easy. And primarily to those who've been there in Chhattisgarh, about 10 years, I think if I'm not wrong, about 10 years back, the army set up its near the Raipur camp, the new Raipur division, and sub-area, which is called the Chhattisgarh and Odisha sub-area. That is primarily with the view that not that the army participates in these operations, it's this thing, but at least they're available. Like you were rightly bringing out, saying that once the casualties take place, the Air Force helicopters are readily available to take the casualties from there. So there's a logistic support that can be given, plus whichever way one can help. But my compliments. It's not easy, very difficult, because they merge. You can't distinguish between who's who. The women are very much participating in this kind of thing. It's not easy because men, women, everybody who are from this particular area. And the population ratio is also approximately about, you can say 60-40. 60% are Hindus, 40% are Muslims. Though it has nothing to do with religion in this particular case, because it's an ideology, the leftist ideology, which needs total eradication, because it is this ideology which is trying to brainwash these people that they have their only ideology, or the only probably point is the anti-government.
Absolutely. Lieutenant General, much appreciate your time here on News 9. Sorry I have to cut you short there. I'm running out of time. In fact, my colleague Aditya Raj Kaul is also joining us on the broadcast. Well, Aditya, first of all, if you can elaborate on exactly what the condition of the two jawans are who were injured in this very case. And in fact, you just also heard Lieutenant General talking about how big of a success it is for our security forces.
Well, that's right. It's been a significant operation for the security forces in Bijapur of Chhattisgarh. This has been a troublesome area for years together, where the Naxals have created this red corridor that's been brewing trouble for the civilians and the security forces in the area. A very significant operation in which 31 Maoists have been now eliminated. In fact, I can tell you in the recent years, this is the biggest casualty number that the Maoists have had, apart from, of course, Abu Jumaat, where at least 29 to 30 Maoists were killed. What we know so far is that 2 jawans, unfortunately, have lost their lives, and there are 2 others who are injured, who have been shifted to a nearby hospital. Their condition is said to be out of danger as of now. Okay. Of course, reinforcements have been sent to that area, but a major significant success for the DRG, for the STF, and for the anti-Naxal force of Chhattisgarh. Mind you, Home Minister Amit Shah had recently given a deadline of March 2026 for the security forces to eliminate Maoism from Chhattisgarh state. So a significant step in that direction.